What is up, Ascenders? And this one I want to talk about the topic of energetic frequency. But before we get into that, if you are new here on my channel, welcome. My name is Bryan Henry. I'm the founder of Together We Ascend, a brand that seeks to move the collective to higher states of consciousness and higher states of being. Today we're talking about energetic frequency. That's a topic and a phrase that gets used a lot. I'm seeing it more and more popping up here in spiritual spaces and discussions, and I wanted to jump in on this discussion and talk a little bit about what this really means for more foundational understanding. There's a lot to it that we can get deeper into, but I think it's important that I start with more of the basic ideas around what energetic frequency really is and how we can come to think of it in a way that serves us in our journey of ascending. Our energetic frequency is a reflection of our state of consciousness. As our energetic frequency rises, we move into higher states of consciousness and awareness. If you will, picture this analogy. As your energetic frequency rises, imagine rising in physical space. Okay, imagine you were on the ground and you rose into the sky, into a higher space. As you look down and as you rise, what happens as you get higher and higher in the sky? What happens to your view of what is below? Your perspective expands. You see more and more. You see the bigger picture. This is the perfect way to think of energetic frequency, perfect way of thinking of heightening your state of consciousness. What this is moving into a higher perspective in which you are more aware of what is. You have a greater understanding of the experience that you are having. You become more aware of the truth, that is, we are connected, that we are everything, and we are so powerful in this truth. We are the creators of the experience that we have. We are the source, we are the creation. And as your energetic frequency rises, you will connect to this truth more deeply, and you will more powerfully be able to express it through you. Express it through how you feel and how you manifest the reality in which you live in. A higher energetic frequency means a higher expression of you. So I want to give you guys what I think are the 3 most important things that you can do to raise your energetic frequency. Starting with number 1, which is meditation. I've been wanting to talk about meditation on this channel for so long, and I held back because there's just so much I have to say about it that I frankly didn't know where to begin. And if you watched my previous video, you know that I have grown into a higher expression of me, and I'm ready to talk about meditation with you all. Meditation is perhaps the single greatest tool and practice that we can conceptualize, that creates the space for us to connect to the highest expression of ourselves and to raise our energetic frequency. When we meditate, we can go into it with any intention. See, meditation is a very loose term, but to keep things simple, I'm going to start off with the most common form of meditation, and the one I invite you to do if this is something that might be new to you, and that's mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is all about becoming aware of, becoming mindful of that which is. It's about observing your experience objectively. What tends to happen with us is we get pulled into objects within our awareness, and that kind of zones and narrows in our awareness on particular things. The worst case of this is when we start narrowing in on thinking that pulls us away from feeling as great as we can feel. But with meditation, the intention is to observe your experience as fully as you can and expand that awareness through being mindful. through watching the experience that you're having as if it was a movie. That's another analogy that helped me out when I now started mindfulness meditation. I'm going to probably do another video in the future talking a lot more deeply about how to go about mindfulness meditation. For now, I think I'll link a resource down in the description below that will provide you with a little bit more guidance, but do know that video will be coming up. That's number 1 from this top 3 things to improve your energetic frequency. Number 2 is healthy and intuitive eating. This, in my opinion, is the greatest diet that you can eat. We've come into this time where everyone claims to have the best diet, and then you have a more aware few that are aware of the fact that there is no best diet. The best diet for one individual might be entirely different than the best diet for another. And that's why the greatest way in which you can approach how you eat is intuitive eating. And before I get into what that means, what I want you to understand with why this connects back to energetic frequency is because there's only 2 ways in which you can go. You can make a decision that is in alignment with the highest you, and you can make a decision that brings you down. This applies to your eating habits and the foods that you put into your body. Certain foods at certain times will have a positive effect on your energetic frequency, and some will have a negative. Understand this when you go into eating, because what you're putting into your body is going to become you. It already is before it goes into your body, but even more so, I can say, that food will become you and your physical body. And like I said, that food is either going to raise you in a state of greater wellness, in a state of a higher energetic frequency, or it's going to bring you down. And the one and true way in which you can look towards a piece of food and make that call, whether it's serving you or it doesn't serve you, is if you go within and you check into your intuition. And this is what it means to eat intuitively. When you go into your intuition and you connect to that place that just knows. We're going to talk about this a lot more, intuition, but there is this place inside you that just knows. You can look at a food and I assure you that at any given point in time you will know whether that's something that you should be eating or something that you should be avoiding. Make the right decision with what you put into your body and your energetic frequency will rise. And finally, number 3 on my list of top 3 things you can do to raise your energetic frequency is think high frequency thoughts. Think expansive thoughts. Thoughts are energy. Everything is energy. And the frequency in which that thought is residing can do 1 or 2 things with you. When you bring that into your experience and that moves into your experience, you think that thought can do 1 of 2 things for you. It can help you rise into higher states of being, or it can pull you down into a lower functioning state, into a lower frequency yourself. And the way in which we become aware of and tune into and promote higher energy, high frequency thinking begins with being mindful. And that's why I started off with being mindful, because the more mindful you are, the more aware you are of the thoughts that reside in your mind, the more aware you are of how those thoughts are influencing your energetic frequency. The best guidance that I can give you here is really as simple as think the thoughts that feel good. You see, the problem isn't having a negative thought. The problem isn't having a thought that isn't rooted in truth. The real issue is identifying with those thoughts. When a thought like this comes up, we have a choice to make. We can identify with that thought, we can make it real, and we can bring that into affecting our energetic state. Or we can watch that thought as it arises, we can be mindful of it as the observer, and we can watch that thought pass on by. This is the highest way in which you can deal with these thoughts, these low frequency thoughts that come up. And just in this, you'll naturally know that your energetic frequency will stay high and this will create the space to continue to rise, because you are able to observe those negative thoughts and allow them through without letting it hold you down. And then now, of course, the other side of that is you want to be flooding yourself with the thoughts that feel good, the thoughts that make you feel more capable, more deserving. And then, of course, the highest frequency thoughts that one can think are thoughts of unconditional love. Unconditional love is of the highest frequency. The more we move towards that in our awareness, in our thinking, the higher our frequency will rise. Thoughts of self-love, self-acceptance begins first, expanding into that experience of unconditional love for all that is. Because when you recognize that all is self, this is when your energetic frequency will rise. Ascenders, those are my 3 top ways to raise your energetic frequency. Again, they were meditation, intuitive eating, and thinking high frequency thoughts. Super glad that I got to jump into this topic for you guys. I'll say it again, guys, because I'm pretty excited about this. Things are about to change moving forward. They already have, and I'm just super excited for what's about to come, because I know how much there is that I have to share with you guys, and I know that I will only continue to do so in more powerful ways as my own energetic frequency rises. And so I'll leave you with this, because this is the center of it all. When your energetic frequency rises, so does everybody else's. So your role, your responsibility, is to take ownership for where you are at. Bring yourself up and be the energy that helps others do the same. Because together, we ascend. That's it for this video, Ascenders. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, keep ascending.